Um, I mean, I keep talking about it, but it's not gonna. It might not be an hour right now. And to be honest with you, I am not pulling out the games. I don't have them right here at the moment. I'll do a second episode maybe in a week or two, and then I'll have it. Oh, look, this one, this one, this one, this one. But I'm just gonna say preferably the names of what I would, I would highly recommend that people should consider getting their hands on. So this is dedicated to October and horror games. And to be honest with you, just well, maybe we'll see how far we go into this episode. I'm gonna just talk about games that pertain to the spirits and demon culture and religions and all sorts of stuff. And there's a lot of fantastic games to consider that is not only to be survival horror. There's a lot of horror games that are RPGs. And maybe to say like those probably are the best ones. So let's start off with Shimigami Tensei. It started all the way back at the Spook, exactly. So I'm doing one for you right here with the talking about like demon games. I'm just like not even to say horror games. I'm talking about games that just like really about demon shit. So when people, I was telling one of my because I do music too, and like let's say in the NYC culture wise about that demon time shit. You really the Japanese, if you want to know about demon time, anime, the mangas, them games. They've been writing about demon time for like 60, 80 years maybe. If those are the lords of the aside from Europe, those is other I would say when it comes to talking about demon time, I heavily studied that. So Shimigami Tensei um is like is the first Pokemon game actually. Pokemon came from Shimigami Tensei, and it came out for the Nintendo. There's a whole saga and series of it, all the way up to the Nintendo Switch and PS4 or whatever. And every game is about demons. It's about demon time and dark shit. Um, the Persona series another RPG from the PS1 era and up that we got Persona 5, and predominantly that's about demon shit as well. There's a shmup game out right now for the Nintendo Switch and the PS4, but in Japan it's called Never Awake. Banging the artwork and everything on that. Never Awake is called. Um, that I would consider a demon game. Um, this is the only one of the Demon Turf that came out from and I don't buy Xbox games once again. This is like a Mario. From when I saw the review, this shit is banging. It's like a Mario 64 kind of game and slash speed run, but the whole thing is based on demons. Um, like I said, the original Persona series, like Persona 1, 2, and 3, really all of them is based somehow kind of linked up with like some demon shit, some dark stuff. Um, when it comes to maybe like cheap games you still can buy right now in the modern day era, two games is called Remothered, Broken Porcelain, and I think Tormented Fathers is one game. Another one is called Tormented Souls. That's another game. So that's three games so far. Tormented Souls, they're coming out with a part two, so that will be four games. Tormented Souls 1 and 2, but part 2 didn't come out yet. Remothered, Broken Porcelain, Tormented Fathers. That's four games. The same thing like the old Resident all them old Resident Evils for the PS1. The same thing is gonna follow suit with all the other Resident Evils. So buy them now for the $5-10. That's what I've been doing, to be honest with you. Up to the it's funny, and it's probably possibly a good thing too, because they remade a couple of them for the PS4. I think they made one or two of them, really a couple of them if I'm right. My nose itches. But the thing for PS2 was a good game. Cold Fear is like a $40-$50 game now, to be honest, but that was a good game for the PS2 era as well. Horror games, yo, dude, Dead by Daylight, yo, that shit is the banger, yo. I cannot stop saying Dead by Daylight's a horror game. Freaking, that's the banger. You know, I still didn't play the new what's that? Yo, it's funny. I need to get a copy of Friday the 13th, and eventually I'm gonna get a copy of that what's the game? Texas Chainsaw. But I would still tell you, go back to Dead by Daylight. I would tell you that's like the Godfather to me. So yeah, Remother and Broken Porcelain, they're the Remother and Broken Porcelain, they compare that to Haunting Ground and like Rule of Rose. Like it got it like that was the only game. Is the Remothered is based off of Clock Tower. It's based off of Clock Tower and like Haunting Ground and like another game. It was like a homage to it. So that's what made me buy copies of those. The Tormented Souls is supposed to be like Silent Hill or like Resident Evil kind of game. Show whatchamacallit is still cheap to buy. The Dead Space series. I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the original ones. And really preferably just to buy part 1 and 2. Those is cheap. I might got 4 copies of part 2 and 2 copies of the whole collection of 1 through 3 alone. Maybe the closest I would tell you if I got to play that is on an ISO, the emulators and ROMs. But horror games, freaking Puppet Combo, who their games are streaming on all platforms now. Puppet Combo games, I'm as a compliment to them. This is like, if I'm right to say, an independent developer too. I compare his games to Rockstar games. Like he's kind of, to say, carrying the torch of them kind of like low budget, like really graphic kind of stuff. It's a developer, Puppet Combo. You can check them out. I don't know if one is called Nun Massacre, but the stories is off the hook. It's not like super best of graphics, but it's just like the whole concept of the games that he's putting together. I would compare him to like Manhunt for the from Rockstar for the PS2. Puppet Combo is doing well, and I hope they continue. Really, they came out with a physical, but it's only for PC. If they could come out with physical, if you could come out with a physical for the Switch or the PlayStation, I'm buying it. Puppet Combo. If I'm gonna say of the modern day right now, out of all these horror people, I gotta give Puppet Combo his flowers. Definitely. The person who works on the music production for the game, all the music is produced off Fruity Loops. I gotta give that dude his flowers, cause that's a fantastic production line for the sound and audio quality, and he was doing that on Fruity Loops. So Puppet Combo, I'ma put as one of the coolest people so far for violent horror games. He highly impressed me. But like back to like when I'm making suggestions of like horror games, these games I would say like, consider to try to get them in possession, because eventually they're gonna bust back up to the 40 and better. Unfortunately, that's just what happens after 10 years or whatever. The games go back up to what the original price was, so you can still make yourself a little. So you can. To me, my suggestion is get 2 copies. One for yourself. One when it goes up in price, you can sell it and you get back your bread for everything in general, and you still got one. That's how I move. So, a lot of times people mention like the same horror games, and I would definitely say to keep your eye out for the modern ones that's coming out at the moment. There's certain horror games that came. I don't got them physically, but They're ones that you would play on the computer, let's say, like sneaking horror games, and they're starting to come out with them physically, and people are developing other versions of them. With like the Japanese girl, it's like 2D games, and like the Japanese girl would have to like sneak through this whole house or whatever, without alarming like these demon monsters to kill them and stuff. Certain people are physically releasing those. Um, those are some horror games. Actually, eventually I might get my hands on one or two of those, cause I'm into the art style. I like that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, Puppet Combo, yo, that's a yo. Not to say all the games they make, but predominantly a lot of his games are beautiful games. Puppet Combo. I'm talking about he got like more than 5 games, maybe 7 of them. I would definitely for this Halloween. So yo, to anybody, get yourself a Steam Deck. I'm definitely gonna be buying that eventually. I'm definitely getting my hands on a Steam Deck. That I see myself for myself behalf, like not to say that word myself. Um, yo, when it comes to like what different kind of games to mess around with this and whatnot, Steam is like the best platform. They give most of the developers the opportunities out of any game system, and is maybe the main platform so far. So when it comes to like curiosity of different categories of games, before they actually coming out physically, like even shmup games, I collect shmup games. They have something called Shmup Fest for stream. Like they have festivals for each genre of games on stream. So like that's amazing. I've never heard that on PlayStation. Each year, it's a festival of a whole new line of whatever genre of games in a category is first coming on stream. So Stream got PlayStation and Xbox and all 3 of them systems. They Stream got that on a headlock right now. And until something else changes otherwise. You see, okay, Dreamcast, I'm gonna tell you, is not all that with the horror games. One game I think the best game I think for it is Illbleed. I think that if I'm saying the right name, Alone in the Dark is okay, but I think the best one is Illbleed. And Dreamcast didn't have that many. The thing about Sega, if I might say, Sega Genesis, good games. Sega Saturn, okay games. Dreamcast, that's when they officially dropped the ball. Sega Saturn, yo, and now I'm gonna mention the same lineup again. Sega in Japan, banging games. Sega Saturn in Japan, banging games. Sega Dreamcast in Japan, banging games. So, like, they dropped. Sega was supposed to buy 2K Sports. Every NBA 2K you can ever think about for the rest of our days right now is started on Sega. They dropped the ball. That was supposed to be their little Pokemon, and they dropped the ball not buying that company out. That was what I call idiocracy. 2K is the number one it took over EA Sports. There's nothing else to talk about. So unfortunately, horror game wise, Sega. So PlayStation 1 got some horror games, definitely. Like I said the other day, the Deception series is basically like a demon devilish RPG game. It's all on some demon dark stuff. The Deception series, the whole series of it actually is all like the children of the devil or something like that. What's the other game? It's not to say it's a lot of games, but not only just like I'm saying survival horror. I would say the RPGs tell better dark stories, to keep it a buck. Deception, yeah, Deception. Um, it's an interesting like tactical RPG. I would say it's like maybe to say the first of its kind from when it first came out, where you got to set up traps. But the whole story plot to the game is like really Demon Time stuff. Um, it's interesting. So that's what I learned about this like not too long ago. When I was seeing it, I was like, oh, I gotta get that in my hands. That's Demon Time. When people talk, oh, we be spinning the blocks, we on Demon Time. Nah, we setting gaveling booby traps. That's gonna be the end of your days right now. Yo, we're taking it back to the 1600s. How we're gonna end your days. Yo, freaking the Deception series. That's a dark game. So like I study like different kind of stuff. Um it's not just Resident Evil and Silent Hill. And like the other games I was just saying, the Rule of Rose and Haunting Ground. And no, it's a lot of RPG games that are on that Demon Time. It's and the Death Smiles. That's a shmup game. It's a shooting game, but the whole plot of it is on Demon Time. And the graphics is dope. Is dope. The whole artwork, everything is dope for it. It's anime artwork. So Death Smiles, that's another one. Demon Turf, Demon Throttle, another shmup that came out for the Switch. That's like $20 right now. Demon Throttle, it's mad demon games. Um, that's another suggestion for like dark games, something with the preference of demon in it. I was gonna say Digimon Demon. So yeah, I don't want to keep like repeating out myself over by saying that. Oh, Resident Evils. But to be honest with you, I stay buying those for $5 if I can. The PS3 eras, anyone I can get for cheap, I'll stay buying it because eventually those are gonna go up in price. Um, to be honest, I never played the Dead Space series. I'm happy to have it in possession while it's still low, and eventually I will go back to popping on the PS3 and playing that. Um, I'm trying to think like just off top because I bought mad games already. I mean through these years. So whatever was like a horror game, the main ones I would say to when it came to the PS4 they was mentioning was those three I was talking about. Those two remothered that people try to give it a bad review. Those two remothered games. And that whatchamacallit I was saying. What the fuck? That I said they're coming out with a part two of Tormented Souls. That I ain't buying. I bought the copies for the GameCube because those are still at low prices. So I thought that would be good things to buy. They could jump up later. But the modern day ones for like I bought Resident Evil 2 remastered for the PS4 when it went on sale for a dub. I might have bought 2-3 copies sealed. I got part 2 and part 3. And I need to get a copy of Biohazard 6 sealed. I would definitely say I would like to get the original Biohazard. I would like unfortunately I might wind up not getting the first print of it. That's what I gotta find out about. What is the first print of the last Biohazard Part 6? Buy a copy of that. I never played those to be honest either. What else? Yeah, I just buy those, try to get it for that dub or whatever, sealed, best condition, mint condition. Just put it away. Put it away for the next 10 to 15 because it'll jump up into some good prices later on. Like I said, by the time the 10 to 15 hit, we are not gonna the next eras of systems are gonna be like fully digital. Not to say the very next, but like let's say after the PS5, after the Nintendo Switch 2, these systems are going digital. So that all is gonna happen is physical stuff is gonna go up in price. So that's why I'm mentioning like those Dead Spaces, those are still I think under $10. Consider maybe getting some now. That could be a good resale a couple of years later on, when people really want to rekindle back to those good games. Those are genuinely good games. The Batman games. Um, yo, I'm praying from what I saw, like a random video. Like, to be honest with you, I saw some kind of post talking about a Max Payne 1 and 2 remake. And if they could do it and make it like part 3, I have not really, aside from Dead by Daylight, that'll be the first time you see me buying a new system just to play. Well, or I'm going to be playing it on Steam. But like, yeah, I love Max Payne. If they could make Max Payne Part 2 and Part 3, like how they did Part 3, you got my money, no question. I mean, like, day one, I'll pay the $60 per game. Day one, I want to get online and play Max Payne. Yo, I'm an addict for that. For when Part 3, oh my gosh. GTA 5, if I'm correct, the last GTA is garbage compared to Max Payne 3. That's that force, yo. I thought Part 4 was gonna be the end of me playing GTA, which it was close to it. When I got Part 5, I couldn't play it. I could not play that game. So Red Dead is better than Red Dead Revolver Part 1 and 2 is better than the GTAs. And Max Payne 3. I don't, it was so underrated for a lot. I don't understand, for a lot of people. Yeah, Part 1 is up. Both of them, all three of them games is bangers. All three of those games are bangers. The Max Payne series. That's another cheap game to buy for like $5-6. Max Payne, Bully. Red Dead Revolver might be like $15, but it's a good game. It's a genuinely good game. The first Red Dead that came out for the PS2 is a genuinely good game. They need to make another Warriors, if I might consider. But we got to talk about Fatal Frames. That's another game I can mention to y'all. So the thing about the modern Fatal Frames that came out for the PS4, you gotta buy those off of PlayAsia. They're not printing in America. So, for example, when I found out about it, that's another horror game, and they came out with a second one, but you gotta order off of PlayAsia. That's not gonna. Both of those games aren't gonna be cheap, and unfortunately, you gotta pay like regular price for it. Like literally, I did myself. I bought 2 copies when they finally came. I listed one of them maybe for like $20 more or whatever. It sold because they're not over here in America, and then I just kept. I got a sealed 1 copy. So the Fatal Frame, that is another one that is not going to be cheap. That it only came out on PlayAsia, or like it's not out here in regular stores in America. So I would definitely say if you want to look up like other kind of cool games, what the one company is called East Asia, and the other one is called PlayAsia. East Asia Games, I think, and the other and PlayAsia. Those are 2 sources where you could come across some stuff that might not come out over here in America. Like I think they call Bloodborne or Bloodstain. It's like a Castlevania 2D Castlevania game, and it came out with Part 1 and Part 2. In Japan, they got the compilation disc of the 2-in-1, and they still didn't put it out over here. It's a couple games. It's a couple good games, and I don't really order from them that much, to be honest. But it's a good couple games. I would say I'm missing out on. I think Limited Run and whatchamacallit just came out with it. The IR, I think EM Shmup compilation Part 1 and 2. And PlayAsia had it first, so I bought the disc, Part 2 disc from PlayAsia a long time back for like $20-something or whatever. But regardless to what, American or the PlayAsia, both of them are gonna go up in price because what's on that disc is like $200 games. PlayAsia. For horror games, PlayAsia. I just can't keep up with the names. PlayAsia got a couple horror games. That is something funny about the release of horror games over here that it's more of them that came out, but they're not coming out over here in America. So it's funny about just talking about Play Asia for a second. Then something else popped in my head. There's a couple horror games that's out for modern day right now, but you have to look up under Play Asia. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, if you want to, but I would also say just look up the reviews first before you buy certain horror games. Try to look for some things that's like good ones, cause they got some junk too as well out there. I hope Sweet Tea Arizona never tricks me, bro. I've been drinking that for so long. That's not bad. You mean digital, right? That's $10 a piece. That's not bad. That yo Spooky, you talking about digital? What's up, mad scientist? Yeah, that's not bad, bro. $10 a piece. Because honest with you, physical is well over $50 or more a piece. Yeah, ten bucks is not bad. That's not bad at all. But like, if you could ever find it in physical person, that's nice. Yeah, I don't got the games. I never even really played those games, dude. When I was a kid, I actually went from when Resident Evil first came out. I had a copy of it, long box. I was scared. I didn't have a memory card. That's another thing, so I couldn't save it. Never got to beat the game. I was scared to play the game. To keep it 100 with you, when I was a kid, I was definitely scared to play that game. Um, to be honest with you, when I was first playing Dead by Daylight for the first time, I was scared to play that game too. I was screaming. I was making noise. I was bugging out. But now I curse at the monsters. I tell them, "Come on, bitch! Come get me, bitch!" That's my inner voice when I be juking and running away from the monster. Bitch. And then every time he think gonna catch me, I just smack him in the head with one of them boards. Nah, bitch. I love that shit now. I love the monsters now. I used to be scared of the monsters when I was younger. I love the monsters now. I be fucking them up. Give them the old 1-2 cup of coffee, little bit of oatmeal. They be good. They be all right. They'll be okay. They'll be okay after. Yo, Dead by Daylight. People be giving up. If you really good at juking in DBD, people give up on you. That should be bad. That'd be bad funny. They actually give up on you. Because in reality, you can't stay chasing one person and everybody else is popping the gens. Like you're really about to be lost in the sauce. So yo, Fatal Frame, yeah. Siren, Sirin. That's another beautiful horror game. I would love to have a copy of part 1 and 2. That's a beautiful looking horror game. I actually watched the story on the making of it, and that's why I like it. That's why it's like a Japanese horror. That's basically what it is. Japanese horror story. Siren 1 and 2. That's another horror game for the PS2. If you can find it for cheap on the marketplace or whatever, check that out. Yeah, Siren 1 and 2. It's like a that kind of reminds me of what is it, Tenchu, with like the sneak around mechanics, maybe a little bit. I'm not talking about like ninja going onto the roof. You can't get away from the bad guys that easily. But the Siren 1 and 2, Fatal Frame, actually, it's funny we brought that one up. That's definitely another one. Like I said, the thing game is supposed to be a continuation of the movie, the Kurt Russell movie, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I used to go to sleep watch. It might sound crazy to y'all. I used to go to sleep watching John Carpenter's The Thing. That would help comfort me. When the wolf head opens up and the tentacles come out and screeching noise, I'd just be like this. Dead ass. I need to get another copy of that ASAP. I haven't watched that movie in so long. That's anyway. Yeah, the thing. The Shawshank Redemption. My two movies I would go. That might sound crazy. Anyway, Shawshank Redemption and John Carpenter's The Thing. For years and years, I would go to sleep watch like that would be my go to sleep movie. My two go to sleep movies. Maybe one day I'll graduate to Freddy Krueger. Yo, that's kind of weird. But the jail movie's kind of, I would say, is more comfort. The Shawshank Redemption ain't like a wild, violent movie, but The Thing might sound that I think that is kind of weird. Yeah, and no nightmares. Yo, I sleep. I would sleep very well, with The Thing on. That movie's a banger. The game is a good game too. I could say I think it is. I think it's a very good game. That's maybe $30 and up. Cold Fear. That's the name of the game I wanted to say. Cold Fear is another game for the PS2 that was cheap forever and ever. I had it back in the days when it first came out. That's another good horror game. Cold Fear, PS2. I'm lighting up my mid, so just give me 2 seconds. I'm lighting up with the fake Zaza. Yeah, the Silent Hill stage on DVD, that was so much fun. And I'm better at the game now, so I'm mad that they took the stage away. Cause I would like to see how I would juke people on their stage now. I'm better at the game. So I miss that stage right now on Dead by Daylight. But Silent Hill 1, I go to sleep. Yeah, I go to sleep watching speed runs. I can't even catch. I stopped for a while now, but I used to go to sleep watching speed runs, bro. That's how I look at like the future when I play video games later on. I can't see myself playing a game for weeks to a month. Like if I was to live stream right here and I'm gonna be playing it. No. I'm trying to bust that. I'm trying to bust it down for like y'all the viewers like a movie. Like maybe hopefully the most 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours the most. But you ain't watching me play that for days and days. That's a dub. So eventually when I get back into the world of like playing games and stuff like that, it's gonna be on that kind of. I wanna learn how to speed run games. I don't like the concept of playing games for freaking days. Facts. Sometimes. And then sometimes, yo, it's kind of weird. Regular weed growing up, I'm tight that it's not around right now. Because sometimes it's actually better than this Zaza garbage. Like, there be Zaza, I mean, like, whatever, no seeds, whatever this junk is, and it'd be worse than regular trees. So, it's a weird. New York City is like one of the worst melting pots of business, bro. The trick about New York is you gotta get a car, which is like a modern day horse, and then you gotta travel out of state. And then when you travel out of state, you learn about the real prices going on in the country. And then you see how they come back into New York and try to beat you in the half. I was about to curse for 2.5 to 3 times the price. So that's the game of New York. If you over 20 something 30 years old and you went, and aside from GameStop you went to like a regular video game store, it's a high chance that store got them games on sale and then they busted you back for the 50 to 60. I'm late to the game, y'all. And that's how I look at it in modern day if I had a store. Oh, everybody watch Resident Evil, Call of Duty. Oh, okay. I wait till the sales come. I get those for the 2025, and I bust it all y'all for the 55, 60. Cause there's mad games and a lot of like if you still in the city and you go to regular stores, none of them stores go down. They're supposed to go on sale. And I'm telling you, for the past 30 or 40 years, those stores learned about buying objects at the cheapest of price and then sell it back to you, the consumer. But the fact that they don't go on sale is the biggest beat in the head. So, you want to buy some good horror games? But unfortunately, Black, yo, Funko Land, I wish I knew the game. Like, Funko Land, obviously, like I said to you, that's like the eras of nobody knows the value of games. But if you understood games, dude, Funko Land made people thousands of dollars. They had, yo, bro, especially when they closed down, they had tons of games that were worth. Funko Land is the same. Let's just say this is 35 years ago. So for 35 years, Funko Land into GameStop have been selling games that would turn into $100, $200, $500 games for $10. That's the point. That's the one thing I want to mention about GameStop. From GameStop up to right now, you just need to know what games they are. That's the only, like, you gotta find, like, what are, like, the most banging games for each one of those systems. Whenever they're at the lowest up, you just get as many as possible. 1 second. Buy a sealed copy of this game. It's only like $25, $22. Buy a sealed copy of this game right here. Or, I mean, what I would say buy a sealed copy is because when they sell it used, it's around the same price. And to buy sealed and put it away, you'll have more value than just to buy it used. But even if you want to buy it used, it's a good game. The Super Nintendo copies is like, I think, like $300 and up. This is only gonna do the same thing. I got like 17 of these motherfuckers for $10. Wild Guns Reload. And I found this amazing. For like, yo, about the concept of getting on a hustle, y'all. Look at the size of this cartridge. So for a decent sized Ziploc bag, and if you filter that whole bag up with these kind of cartridges, that'll be like 1,000 or more cartridges. If you could get those for $1, $2 a piece, that is a bag of money. If you could fill up and get 1,000, 2,000 of those little cartridges, that's a lot of money. People are going to eventually get rid of those like junk. They've already been doing it. They're going to do it. There are hundreds into millions of these cartridges all over the country. And eventually people are going to get rid of them for cheap. Because to be honest with you, a lot of games do go on sale for cheap. This was on sale for $10. So, everybody, you play Xbox, you didn't get this game yet? Get yourself the physical copy of this. It only came out, the only other print of this was limited run. And then this was the only storefront print, was for the Xbox. So that's why I bought two. That was the only, this is the only Xbox One game I ever bought. Out of buying hundreds of games so far. That's the only Xbox game I bought so far. So, for people who want to build up, like, things for Halloween, just look up all the whole list of games that have demon in the context. Look up RPGs. I would highly suggest. Just say, you might wind up really enjoying the stories that come out from it. Even Final Fantasy is like a dark game, to be honest. And a lot of plots of that storyline. For Final Fantasy VII, all the Final Fantasies, you're fighting some kind of like demon forces. Destruction of planets or whatever's going on throughout them games that I've never beat. My favorite one, I think, was 3. I think, if I'm right, part 3 is the one where you could switch your characters to be any other role-playing character, and I just love that concept. Sweet Home. That's a horror RPG for the NES that you could download the translated ROM to it, and that's from the creator of Resident Evil. That was the first game he ever made. It's called Sweet Home for the NES. It's a horror RPG game, and I wish they would have came out with that for the Game Boy. It's similar to like Pokemon kind of graphics. For like the characters, you have a team of, I think, 3 or 4 people. Each person has a different role they could play, and y'all gotta all work together to get out the mansion. And the more if you lose any of those characters throughout the game, you get like a weaker ending. But Sweet Home, that was the first game made by the creator of Resident Evil. That's a good a horror RPG game. I like it. And then Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy is basically like the same format of Sweet Home. That's what I found so interesting. I feel like it was basically a homage. The Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy Color is a homage to Sweet Home. It definitely is. So that's a old school horror a game right there. Friday the 13th, NES. I always liked that game. I never really liked Freddy Krueger for the NES. Splatterhouse is cool. The series, I guess to say. Sega had a lot of good violent art for their games. Actually, when it comes to ghoulish and graphic and decapitation and blah 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 blah, Sega, between America and Japan, had a lot of adult, I would say, you see the thing about you see, like when you're asking about, well, the last one I would say to you for the 4 for 30 for the Fatal Frames, I think that's not bad. But for the Alone in the Dark, I think you can find that physically for like under a dub. And I would rather just get a physical copy of it for my behalf. I got the luckily one day in the collection I got the Dreamcast copy for Alone in the Dark. But damn, like what's a really really good horror game? Manhunt Part 1 and 2, which I got a copy of. That's one of my favorite horror games of all time. Manhunt Part 1 and 2. I'd rather them just make a newer one instead of making that HD, to be honest. I'd rather get a Manhunt Part 3 than for them to come out with a HD, because I've already played that. I played like the life out there. I still will play that game, to be honest. Manhunt 1 and 2 are great snuff tape video games. I always enjoyed them from when I first got those in possession. You know, I feel like Max Payne 1 gives me a little bit of that airy vibe too, and that's why I always like that game. So, you can play that game for any holiday season. Max Payne. You happy? Max Payne. You sad? Max Payne. It's Christmas? Max Payne. It's winter? Max Payne. It's fall? It's spring? I don't care what time it is. It's always Max Payne time. It's always Max Payne. Oh my gosh. That is definitely a story of, I think, a lot of people's lives that people don't understand. Max Payne. The story of Max Payne. How much he's a giving person. Love that dude. The movie did not do him no justice at all. I would definitely say. Yeah, nah, Manhunt is bangers. Hell, nah. Max Payne is way better than GTA 5. Way better. You put in holes through people in Max Payne, and then they took that whole, like, you're sending people like flying. Like, nah, that game was too beautiful. It was too in your face. Max Payne and the physics of the multiplayer was so in your face, and then they just stripped that away. In the Max Payne game, it was supposed you was able to make teams, and then you were able to take those teams over into the new GTA game. So I was just hyped up, like, oh, okay, let's get it. Let's get these teams popping on the Max Payne. Because once we get into GTA, it's about to be the same thing. Oh, you think it's going to be about money? Nah, we running blah 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 like, and they took the whole thing out of it, and they didn't bring the same physics over. I just was like, it was just a catastrophe. I looked at that game like a big catastrophe. I couldn't play it. So that game is a part of the past. Like all these DLCs, all these memes, all this stuff that people built, they YBN Lemire, all these people who've built medias off of playing that one game, Part 5, I couldn't not play that. I cannot play that game. I could not play that game. I could not play. It's basically, no disrespect, GTA 1 and 2 and GTA London, that is Mecca. That's the beginning of GTA. Those games is forever classics. But after GTA San Andreas for the PS2, that was the end of GTA to me. That was the last genuinely good Grand Theft Auto game. And Part 4 and 5 was just like repeats. It was just like poor repeats that didn't evolve. That's why I gave up on GTA. Minecraft is a billion times better than GTA, and it's free. If I'm correct to say, even if it ain't free, is a billion times way more worth than playing GTA. Minecraft is like the best video game ever created, hands down. And I give a little bit of correct of respect to Bethesda and their attempts at making something that could be a little bit like it. But when that dude created Minecraft, that changed the whole world of video games. And people still haven't caught up to it yet. Who have bigger budgets. That don't make no sense. People who have bigger budgets than a one man who made Minecraft, he smashed companies. One man, one computer smashed multi-billion-dollar companies. And I mean, we've seen it in movies all the time. So I guess to say it's real life, yes. If you could, or any of us could be that one. Yeah, no, I told you, GTA Part 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. That's it. That was the first and the end of it. I would say before you buy the deceptions to look to YouTube it to see if that is something you would be into. That's the one thing I would say before the games that I suggest to like. Overall, any games that, not to say any games. This game I would say buy without even looking up. Like this is guaranteed. But the deception might not be your taste in an RPG game. Or just like for me, just because the darkness is on, maybe that could just be your taste of wanting to see it alone. But I would say YouTube it first. YouTube the series, and just to see about it. Hey, it happens, man. I rather a mouse than a water bug. You know, that's that a mouse. That's cool. That's okay. But nah, deception. I just like the whole concept and the story of it. I just was like, damn, this is. There's a game for the Super Nintendo, Terminator 2, and to my opinion, that game was supposed to be banned. It's a rampage game of a it's a cyborg, but in reality, it's just like a human walking through regular places, mutilating people. And back at that time, when Super Nintendo, definitely Super Nintendo, and mainly let's say was out, they didn't want to. They weren't supposed to let games like that exist. That's a cheap game still to buy right now. Terminator 2. If you look at that game, and then there's another game called, I think it's called Rampage, that got banned in countries. That is, I would say, the same concept. Is a man going on a rampage, mutilating people. Look at the Terminator 2 game, going through malls and going through different places, and he's just like, right? Freaking Splinter. Master Splinter. Freaking. Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing, man. It's all good. You get that. You can get them out of there. I feel sorry at times when I hear for like the people who live more uptown. I would say that I've heard stories of like people having rats in their cribs. But at the same time, you know, it's interesting to say to you. It's not a city, only a city thing. People have rats in houses. What you think be in the forest? You think they'd be little things in them? Nah, it'd be big things in them in the forest. So don't. I was watching some video off of YouTube about a person hitting a bunch of rats that was under a house at nighttime with the night vision with a BB gun, and them things wasn't like little things. Them things was big things, and it was a patch of them. It wasn't even just one or two of them. It was a whole colony trying to colonize your property, sir. So that, you know, it ain't only the city that deals with, you know, it's funny that people might try to act like they construe that. Everywhere deals with pests. Actually, anywhere OT deals with more pests. They deal with, all houses deal with hornets, spiders, cockroach. No, but like those in the upstates or whatever, they deal with more pests than I think we deal with in urban city areas. I really think they do. Raccoons, coons, and rats. What animals you never even heard their names of before. But yo, definitely there's tons of media, yo, for yo, if it is or if it even it ain't, happy birthday to you, Nutridog. Happy birthday to you, regardless of what, even if it ain't. And it's just a shout out. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dog nurture. Hey, yo. Anyway. So, yo, to be honest with you, not even to say for Halloween, I've been dying to play my Resident Evil games I got. To keep that 100, I've been dying to play that on the PS. Well, I got the backwards compatible PS3, but I got all three systems, whatever. But like I've been wanting to play that for a minute right now, so I look forward to when I find. It's like I feel like my life is like a horror movie right now in real life, and one day, like, you know, at the end of the movies where the sun rises and like you finally fucking got away from the monster for once. My life, I really feel like is a horror movie. When that sun finally rise, I finally could fucking play PlayStation. And then like if you really think about it in the horror movies, somebody's still gonna fuck up the whole scenario for me. And then the movie's gonna black out because I guess that's the concept of part 2. Oh God, don't let me jinx myself. That make me want to vomit right now. I don't even want to think like that. When I finally think my life could be at peace, oh, okay, I finally could sit back and oh shit. I'ma just accept the L. If I'm telling y'all a couple years or whatever from now, and I finally get to sit back and be at peace with my freaking life. And then when I do, and as soon as I do it, it's just the big explosion and all this, I'ma just hold my L. I'll take it. I'll take my L. I am not gonna cry. I can't. I'm preparing now for tears later. Like, yo, fuck it. Just take that. Just give it to me. Whatever. I accept. I can't. That's a part of life, y'all. One minute you think you up, the next minute that shit could get knocked down. That shit get knocked down real quick. Stop playing. You better stop playing, yo. I hope y'all don't be watching Joe Buttons, yo. We're supposed to be the Halloween Spooktacular. We're about to talk shit about Joe Buttons now. I can't. Yo, shit, we got 7 niggas up in the room. Yeah, Joe Buttons, do not take any of his advice. I don't know if you understand, but that is not how black people speak, especially over here in up north areas. It is preposterous language. Excuse me for even saying that word to you. I'm ashamed. But anyway, like, yo, I cannot stand that dude, yo. I cannot stand that I don't watch his show, to be honest. I don't. But like sometimes when I would glimpse at how so opinionated these human beings are, yo, do not. If you want to learn about a ethnic human being, do not look for that source of media. I'm telling you, that is not it right now. Yo, that's far from it. That is far from it. Yo, let's go even deeper. Let's go even deeper. I've been saying this about when I look back at that show that academics, him and the Nadeska was doing. That was all just a tactic just to attack academics and discredit his credibility. Bro, when they did that show, that everyday whatever struggle, whatever that BS was, they were all attacking him. And neither of those two people had any history of streaming and building up anything. They were both servants. Joe Buttons, when you get signed, you're my fucking servant, sir. You serve me. And you serve me well. Nadeska worked for a complex. You're my fucking servant, sir. And you serve me well. Both of them. Academics was the only one out of the 3 that wasn't. He was doing this. So who's his boss that he got to tap into and could get fired from? He is still streaming right now. People could try to discredit academics for whatever. He's a human. He doesn't come from silver spoons. He is a human. As in, he is meant to not be perfect. Just like myself or anyone else. He is human. But when you watch that Joe Buttons crap, that shit is like some... Get the fuck away from me, please, sir. People talk like, get the fuck away from me, please, sir. I'm gonna have to subtract myself from them premises, from them environments. I cannot be around people like that. It's not human. I've been around, the OG rich millionaires out here in New York still talk like genuine New Yorkers, y'all. They do not talk like certain cheese. Do not misconstrue humans from up north. Do not misconstrue that shit, yo. From the people I've got to be around. I'm talking about white people. They talk like Brooklyn people. A lot of the rich people from New York come from the 5 boroughs. So, God blessedly, I got to be in some spaces, hear the language of the human beings, and please do not misconstrue any of this hip hop garbage on whatever media, as in that's what humans really are. It's far from it. It's a billion miles far from it. It's a billion miles. I remember there was this one girl I was following on IG a while back who was pumping weights, nice body size, all this other stuff. And when she went on live stream, I had to send her as a joke, but I meant the dead ass that she most likely could beat up 90% of drill rappers. None of them work out. Most of your favorite rappers don't work out. They're wet noodles. Most of your favorite rappers are wet noodles. From Kung Fu Panda, and his dad, who was the duck, who who had the dumpling and noodle restaurant? Would you like dry or wet noodle? Master at that. Master of wet noodle. But good wet noodle for you. Kung Fu. Yo, we went into an hour, yo. Nah, it's just when I was just going and just talking shit about Joe Budden showing as a generalization, it's just I don't like him as a form of social media. I consider it nonsense. And if you ever look back at the TV show Everyday Struggles, it was all just to target and go against academics. That's my conspiracy theory. Yo, you're let's say a famous person. You're just like you're a famous person, and me and this other person are like B list of you or C list of you. You agree to do a TV show with us, and we're just attacking you. I don't think that makes any sense. Besides, it was a chess move to try to discredit him. Where is Nadeska? Yo, bro, you know what's so funny? The other day when I was thinking about, when I was reflecting, not say I was reflecting, but I was thinking about that. I started typing. You type up Nadeska's name on the YouTube search engine. It only Everyday Struggle from 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, you try to discredit somebody that you're not around. You were only around for like 4 months. These 3 months, I'm telling you, that was a strategic move against academics to turn around and it's just weird as hell. And you don't even exist no more. Nadeska don't even exist. My fault. She is a servant at a next job. She does exist. She always had a job as a servant, and she still is a servant. I think maybe at Apple now, iTunes. Not on the computer side. Talking about like, they're janitors. They're on the janitor side. Okay, like the dude Ebro, the people who are like when I say a computer company, then you're a coder. You're somewhere. You're that I consider something. You run the playlist on Spotify, and bro, you're not even in the janitor's position, maybe to say, yo, bro, you're nowhere in the building. So I like badgering Joe Buttons, if I'm using that word right. I just wanted to use like a nice English word, but his kind of social content is garbage to me. It makes my ears hurt. And anybody else who pertains in them kind of categories of fields is horrible humbug. Yo, I'm telling you that was all strategic. It was all strategic. Maybe to give himself a little buzz, and then Nadeska tried to jump in on it with it too, but it didn't work for her. But in reality, they're both bums. They're both bums because that person, like what I'm doing right here, right now, the same thing like Act did. He was in a social space. He found a form of content that he could keep posting, and let's say maybe it was streaming on the East Coast, wherever it was, it built a platform for him, and then people want to talk to him on personal on media, live media like this. Oh, yo, well, the OG gangsters is telling me to tell you that you better calm down. Where you don't know nothing about the real streets. I know about the real streets. The real streets ain't rappers, nigga. The real streets do 20 years. The real streets do kills crackheads for $100 bill, and then they do 20 years. That's the real streets. The real streets go and give a credit to a crackhead or to a person and doesn't understand that, like, if they don't pay you back that 100, you just got to take that L, and then they make the mistake and throw their life away and go to jail for hurting that person for a stupid ass $100 bill. That's the most retarded thing you can ever. That is the real streets. Yeah, I was listening to a song. I don't know if it was from a year ago or whatever, and I'm telling you, I don't listen to rappers when it comes to actual gangster mannerisms. A lot of that shit is unless the person can be always project himself as a form of humorist, like Joker characteristics, then I consider you different. But I was looking at some documentaries from between New York and Jersey off of YouTube the other day, and some of the things I was hearing in the stories about when them people were getting sentenced to their life sentence or whatever, and the answers they were replying to the judges, it reminded me of things that I know about personally, let's say within my own family or space that I've heard before, and that is a breed of people that came from like the '70s, maybe to say that yo, your favorite, you think your most, yo, bro, I know what I'm about to say for a fact right now. I'm telling y'all, the last time gangster people was telling maybe a judge like shut the fuck up and just get it over with, and then they just get their life bit, was maybe between the mid to late '90s to the early 2000s, and like for the past 20 years right now, every other body you could think is a gangster or whatever, they're all snitching for the past 20 years. When is the last time you heard anybody say, "Go, yo, suck my dick, judge. Just get it over with"? I'm telling you, I know about that. I've heard some stories of other people from other states that did that, but it was in the same time frame of what I'm talking about, the '90s. This shit was all, I think, in the '90s or in the early 2000s, and I've never heard about that for the past decade. I gotta look up maybe some more social media about people who gangster or just going for whatever mannerisms. But you don't hear rappers doing that. What about the YSL case, y'all? You hear Young Thug? Yo, shut the fuck up, Judge. You hear Gunna? Shut the fuck up, Judge. 6ix9ine? Shut the fuck up, Judge. Meek Mill? Shut the fuck up, Judge. Any of these people? No. I'm telling you, that breed doesn't exist no more. Because they are not really doing like the shit that was done back in the days. But those is horror stories. For real stupid, okay, like I'm telling y'all, for $100 bill, $50, $25. Those is the real horror stories. Those happen out of town too. Obviously, it happened all over the country, unfortunately. But it was stupid. It was stupid because working regular jobs, you don't have to kill people. You get to live and not go to jail, you idiot. Like, oh no. That's a shame, man. It's a shame. You can work a damn job. You can buy video games. Yo. There's so many things you could do instead of hurting people. That's the dumbest thing ever. And now I remember why I was talking about that, all that gangster shit. It goes back to Joe Buttons. It goes back to a lot of these podcasts y'all watch. And a lot of shit how people, oh, I did all this jail time, all this up. Work a job. Go get your life together. Go do 6 months. If you could do all these years in jail, why you can't do all these years in school? That's the real electric chair for a gangster. A book. Ah! Niggas is Frankensteins. Book. Oh, you stupid. That means you really easy work to run over. Shout out to Glug Glug. But yeah, I've been stopped believing in a lot of social media. The one you could believe in is one that could give you steps to better yourself. And you could look up any social media, and all of them, none of them is telling you things. Not to say all of them, but a lot of them is talking about junk for all these years. And I don't know why people think that's cute. I think it's like, it's free media to reflect back on them that they're idiots. to not talk about true substance. You still can buy a home, y'all. Under 200 grand. You could do that in 5 years. All this social media, oh, homes is going crazy. All this other, you still can buy a home. You still can obtain things in America. It's still possible. You do not need a 100K job. You just need to work on the steps like I'm doing for myself. That you just need to work on them steps. And eventually, as long as you're working on the right steps, you're gonna get there. We're going from spooky game hour to just talk about whatever. Grrr. But yo, I feel sorry. Yo, spooky stories. Uptown, and I don't mean like Harlem. The Bronx has been a spooky story for too long. I'm gonna say that one more time. The Bronx has been a spooky story for too long now, yo. That shit gotta come to an end, bro. That gotta come to an end. That's too long of spooky stories. That is a okay. Anybody want? If you look back at like old cartoons, old TV shows, and this, that, and whatnot, banging people on the head with a rolling pin, that is the last borough of that. I'm gonna tell you that still 100% still exists out there. You wanna see the 1940s, the 1920s, busting your head with a rolling pin? The Bronx. And that curse gotta come to an end, bro. From footage, stories, all the things. I'm just like, it's too. The two rapper kids that blew up. I remember K-Flock got one of the rappers from Chicago. It just, I swear to God, the whole vibe of when I heard the music and everything, it just took me back to the 90s. That I just didn't like that. It was just like sadness. They're rapping about whatever they're rapping about drill song, all they thinking is hard. I just think about straight, like, they're not even from that world. The K-Flock and I forget the other rapper that was from Chicago in the video, but they're not even from the world I'm talking about. And I just think of sadness. And, you know, whatever. Yeah, no, because to be honest with you, yo, a lot of what I'm talking about derived in the 90s. And it was a little bit more ignorant. And I'm telling you, people were getting bodied. People got bodied in the 90s for a quarter. There's people who got killed out of these 5 boroughs for 25 cents and for a $100 bill. Each one. Within that 10 years. I'm talking about even from the 80s. That's maybe 20 years. There's people who got bodied for a quarter to a $100 bill out here in New York. And it probably was happening for maybe 40, 50 years since people was able to, who knows? I'm going to tell you, it probably was longer than the 20 years I'm talking about. So that's kind of ridiculous that you don't really hear about that happening. That's a part of the past. Thank goodness now. You don't really hear that in New York in modern days to say that an altercation happened over that kind of money. Like, it was different. That was kind of rough. And it was stupid. It was stupid. People still do weird stuff like that. There's people around the country and around the world who hurt homeless people and fiends. And just disability people. There's people who, I don't know what spirit is in them. There's people on earth who prey on homeless people and fiends. And then an able-bodied human being would turn that person to dust probably with one punch. But they might get away with an era of that kind of energy to people. And I just is it movies? Is real videos of people doing that stuff? Is rappers who prank homeless people? I don't understand that kind of energy. I don't understand that kind of energy. I really pray I could just stay gaining weight. I really would like to get into to a change bracket. I like the comic book Lobo, and I would like the imagination of turning people to dust with a punch. Righteous. If you dig what I'm saying. Because Lobo was a savage, if I'm right to say, but on righteous. Like I think it's just sucker shit. It's the energy of the earth of what you could do to others, but it won't happen to me. Like, yo, you far from not understanding. You far from not understanding. Shit. I think the Cash App dude got poked up by his girlfriend's brother or something like that. He was a multi-billionaire. Freaking facts. Jamie Pina 1000, and all love to you for saying that. So look, woman. You made me feel positive. Thank you, Jamie. That I really appreciate you saying that. Word. I was just overall talking about a context of what I feel is like real and was fake. And I was going into a tangent about Joe Buttons a second ago about how I don't like a lot of their context. But overall, a lot of urban social media context I really don't like at all. I loved it growing up. I still love old school. What I like about hip hop, I would say to y'all as viewers, if I was to speak on hip hop, is the beginning. The break dancing, the music with reverb to the bass, boo 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 boo, read the bar, tap to the beat, what up, graffiti, that whole boom of that piece of time is still with me forever, and whatever this is in modern day is junk compared to that to me. I still remember that element of people in America being able to create something from the little bits they have, and I don't know why I look at that as so much more colossal than how big people are of whatever they are in modern day of music and media and these big stages and all this money in their mansions. And I'm still at that part for some reason. Even the R&B music I listen to is fusion jazz. 80s, the late 70s, the 80s, into the early 90s or whatever. The music, it's funny, this is all positive vibes. It was more positive vibes. If you listen back to the music that came back out, it really, I'm not talking about like that R&B that really started into the 90s and that sexing and all that garbage. Talk about real, like when they would fuse jazz into R&B songs, it's positive. Frequencies and everything, is beauty in it. You know, sunshine and hello to my neighbors, and yo, even though like it's kind of, maybe sometimes those songs wouldn't apply to New York, it's still that's what I listen to still right now. So I could have a good spirit to say. So trust me on that. I ain't wasting no time with none of that junk vibes of the modern day kind of funny. Every era of generations think like, oh, these people old folk, whatever. They don't know no good music, blah blah blah. And really, I know I'm not to say everything, but I know a lot about modern day music. Hyper pop gospel is a new genre still growing right now. Hyper pop music is a genre that's maybe been out for like 5 or 7 years. I know I was in this music world from 2012. So I started out in the um yo, I'm forgetting the name. It's so weird at this moment, but 3 6 Mafia kind of music. Before everybody was rapping, before drill and this double time rap was out, it was the genre I'm talking about. That was what was on SoundCloud. Whatever the genre of 3 6 Mafia music is, I'm just forgetting the name for some retarded reason. But it's like making Memphis trap beats and rapping double time on it. And Tommy Wright the third. Yo Gotti, original name was Lil Yo. Teeny Man. Um, Gangsta Pimp, I think. Um, Lord Infamous from 3 6 who passed away. The whole 3 6 wasn't rapping double time. Talking the facts when I'm talking the things when I'm running your block and I'm singing the things and I'm blah 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 and all that. The whole it was Lord Infamous. And then Koopa Kanika. So when I first was making music, that's what I was really into. But what I liked about the communities of SoundCloud and through these years was that everybody was just evolving into different genres. It didn't just stay there, let's say. So while everybody is doing this, like let's say a lot of people around the country or other countries think, oh, it's just New York drill, New York drill. I'm gonna tell y'all since 2018, all I make was like pop music, hyper pop music. New York City. I never mess with drill music, actually. The one drill song I'm gonna tell y'all I made, drill is based off of grime from UK. I made a grime beat and then I rapped Chicago drill on it. I didn't even rap like a New Yorker on it, and I'm from New York. So like everything I do is I know DMV still didn't really blow up over here in New York like that. All this ski mask stuff, Young Gleesh. Everybody who wears ski masks across the country, Young Gleesh ain't the like to say the first, but like kind of media music wise, Young Gleesh. He was doing this beyond a decade ago. Wearing medical masks and stuff like that. Looking under the SoundCloud world all the way back to a decade ago. So I know about music. The Jersey club music, Trippy Turtle. And that's not the only producer. I'm talking about from a decade ago. For all that, this Jersey club that all blew up for the past year or whatever, and everybody going crazy. Trippy Turtle. Not even him. It's like a bunch of other people. But I think Uzi actually spoke about that. That the genres from like mad long ago. Y'all just getting hit to it. So I like how they rap, how they talk in in Baltimore with the gabble of dudes and the gibble of dags talking pig Latin. That shit cracks me up. I love it. Like how when it be like when the Michael Jackson heard modern day music, I love it. I love that song. Yo, you talk Baltimore. Oh, you funny when they say like New Yorkers, we could go to any state in the country, women like us, and then that pause on my behalf, baby. But I like that shit, yo. I like that shit. That shit is, I think is cool, whatever. But yo, there's a lot of people across the whole country that's like me, or like New Yorkers. It ain't New Yorkers who's the only people who's like this, where everybody thinks people are stupid over here or stupid over there or whatever. Yo, you're far from fucking reading a book, I guess to say. You didn't leave your shell yet. Cause anyway, back to Joe Buttons. You should definitely watch my page more than Joe Buttons. You want to know about music? They have forums one of them called Leak This. And it'll put you on to leak, like, if it's that forum is still up. and it'll put you on to things before the social medias talk about it for maybe a week to a month, if not even months. You'll be hip to songs that's been out, whatever, whatever. Because there be groups of people who actually at times will pay out for the opportunity to hear a song, and then they just put the song out for everybody to hear. Leak this. That's another. Years ago, they kept getting Playboy Cardi on that one. Yo, download all the ROMs and emulators, likes and follows. Give me likes, y'all. Who I know. Probably Spooky Ben gave me a like, so I'm not. I'm not even worried about that. These other people who come on the page and don't want to smash one like, what is you on, yo? What is you on? Hit the like, y'all. Hit the like, man. What is y'all on? No. What is y'all on? They probably over here, Spook, trying to get free information. Oh, I'm gonna run with this. Yo, that's what social media be, Spook. That's what I learned from SoundCloud. So, okay, whoever you think is your favorite rapper or like this new genre of music and it's so banging, this, that, and whatnot, it's most likely 100 other people who already did it, and they're the pit that created the mountain for the one person to come out later who's by some record label or have more money budget to bring it to the forefront. And that's the same thing like this YouTube you're watching right now. It'll be other people on this watching you who don't no engagement, whatever, to run with what you on. You're gonna have to get in contact with OG corporates to catch up to me. If you try and catch up to me, which most of your average social medias don't do that. And I'm not talking about, oh, this episode is sponsored by deodorant and cheese. Nah, I'm talking about like OGs to things like your average human being hasn't done on YouTube because their brains is just so small. If eventually I could get it into rotation, I'll be doing that on YouTube. Having like some next kind of stuff going on this page where you can learn from it and create common ground. That's the purpose of really what I want to do with this YouTube, or in general in the future, is I want to create a platform where I get to interview big time people, and they don't talk about where they're at now. They talk about where they started in the beginning. So common people could maybe feel a relation instead of thinking about the end result. Think about the beginning and work on that to get to the end result. And keep teaching about the beginning that people don't want to pay attention to. That's why they never get to the end result. That is the only way to become CEOs. You got to start here, figure out some while you're making money starting here, you figure out about another kind of thing that you can invest into, and you got to make the shit work. Shit. So eventually I'm trying to interview CEOs and do segments with them where we talk about like simple things. I feel things that people should understand in layman's terms, and you don't have to feel so far away from this millionaire or billionaire when they talk about how they actually got there. You just have to fucking start, and don't wait till you're 60 or 50. You want to get to your 100,000, you want to get to your $250,000, half, whatever it is, or whatever. You got to start now, and then you got to keep working at it. And it doesn't happen tomorrow. It happens over years. And then over those years, you got to create your next. What you're gonna do when you get that money? What is the next step you're gonna do with the money? When you finally get your 100,000, your 250, and let's say you found the format how you could take $1 and then turn it all the way up to that kind of money. What is the next big thing you could do with that to turn that even better, and then keep going till the wheels fall off? Straight up. That's how I'm living for the rest of my days right now. There ain't no retirement. It's till the wheels fall off. Cause I feel like CEOs, everybody who works on the CEOs, people who run businesses, yo, I feel like majority is just stupid people who don't really understand, who never learn business. And it's not in college, yo. It's buying this for a nickel and selling 100,000 units for 50 cents to 75 cents. That's the key. That is CEO. That is the CEO business of multi-million and billions of dollars per quarter in your world you live in right now today. You buy this for a nickel and you sell. I got it. I hope I could get those. I'm trying to get 2 PS Slims for like $30 right now. A piece. You buy the object for a nickel, and then you sell it for, and then you build up a I'm bad with words sometimes, but you build up like your stat sheets, your history, that you sold 100,000 or hundreds of thousands of units. You could run a business, and I'm not talking about a store. I'm talking about businesses that need to get 500,000 units moved. You just have to work up to have that on your not to say resume now, but like to have the physical evidence, like you have a history of been doing this, you understand how it goes. And that's any business you've been buying from. This juice, your orange juice, a shirt, whatever. There is a person who worked their way up to understand how to move that amount of units per quarter. When are you gonna start? That's the same thing people always ask me. When am I going to start with the first unit? To go into the second, to the third, to the fourth, This is elementary to me. Some of the CEOs I follow, that is the story. And I have an assumption that'll follow for most CEOs when it comes to an object is of overall. That's what I deal with, objects. And I'm not talking about just video games. It could be anything. But the beauty of it, you could just you don't really need to know about every object. You could just work on just 1 or 2 objects. You just got to get up to those kind of numbers. Get up to them numbers, you could get a corporate gig. It ain't a bachelor's degree. It ain't a bachelor's degree in business or a master's in business. Is what I'm talking about. Is them units you sold. And anybody on earth could do it. You just got to figure out, you got to gain common sense. The first thing I'm saying I got to figure out, you got to have common sense of things around you and then figure out how to make money off of stuff. Hence this spectacular episode dedicated to Spooky for the horror games. I didn't buy 1 copy. I buy multiple copies because they're spectacular. Halloween ain't just this year. Halloween is the next billion years. What you think is going to happen to all those horror games that's cheap right now? They're only going to go up in price. One time, I got one horror game called Frankenstein's Monster or something for the Atari. I think it's like a $30, $40 game. I got it for like $3. That was one of my first retro game hunts. That one time this dude had a bunch of games for sale, whatever. And I was going through the pile and trying to find what's, the best of the value instead of getting a cheap game. But yeah, that's so interesting, bro. That's funny. We had like 7 people in here. Somebody probably definitely had Joe Buttons in the room. Your show sucks. I want all the smoke, Joe. Your show sucks. I want all the smoke. Let's get those 6 people back in here. Your show sucks, Joe Button. Terrible TV show. Or whatever. Terrible. Poppycock. Yo. I watched your one video too as support. Gave it a like. I would have figured you saw that, whatever, bro. So a support to anybody who's positive to be back. I take that very, very serious. Thank you. And to any other viewers. But as you see, I take you as the most genuine one so far. Dude, not to say Halloween is every month for me, but it's funny how, like, Spooky, you requested this, and, like, I collect demon stuff. Like, to keep it a buck with you. And I don't even be waiting for Halloween. Nah, don't even think that of yourself. You're good to go, bro. Just keep doing it if you would like to. If you would ever like to do a stream with me, you're more than welcome to. I was gonna ask you that, so I'm asking it now. If you would ever like to stream with me, cause you're here with me, I would assume right now, you are more than welcome. And what I say is just like over time we'll just stay getting better at it. That's not what I would say. Cause I reach out to other people. I got another cat that I would like to do a stream with. Iowa. Um, yo, straight up. Um, Iowa retro gamer dad. Hopefully I may get him to do a stream too, and some other people as well. So, dude, you're more than welcome. Definitely. Freaking and it could we could talk about just any kind of topics, you know. It doesn't have to pertain to regurgitate of the same thing over and over. I just like to yo what is it? I like to talk about some of these games that I was considering for people to get because I just think it will create a good opportunity for certain people that has never had collections that are a little bit valuable. COD forever, bro. Zombies. COD forever, bro. I can't even cap. I'm lying to you right now. I haven't played COD for one whole gen, bro. I haven't played COD for the PS4 and the PS5 era. So I can't even say that to you. I'm gonna keep it 100 and say it's DBD, baby. Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight Behavior Games, y'all. Behavior is a Canadian game development company, and I'm telling y'all, on 1,000, like almost all the games they made are good games. Like, easy to say. Kim Possible Part 2 and 3 for the Game Boy Advance, dope games. Um, Lilo and Stitch Part 1 and 2 for the Game Boy Advance, dope games. Like, they're not. I don't think they're gonna be cheap forever. Monster House. I always keep saying that for the Game Boy Advance. It's a Zelda game. Good game. These are 5 games made by them. So I'm just giving y'all one example. 5 games they made for the Game Boy Advance, back to back to back, all good games. I think they made the GameCube version, which I should have bought at least one copy. That's another spooky Halloween game. Monster House. And for the it came out for the PS2 and for the GameCube. Monster House is another game. Check out, consider for a Halloween game. Definitely, I love the Game Boy Advance version. Fantastic. Um, oh, I got another horror game. It's like a Castlevania game for the DS. It's called Barnyard Blast, and that is not too expensive, but it could wind up going up in price eventually. It's like an homage to Castlevania. That's another Halloween game. I said Bloodborne. That's a Halloween. Bloodborne. What the hell is the name of the game from the dude who made Symphony of the Night? 1 minute. Not Symphony of 1 minute. I just want to look up the name because that is a Halloween game. I meant that Castlevania, any Castlevania games. Those are another Halloween games you could mess around with. Part 1 through 3. Part 2 is my favorite one. Symphony of the Night. The ones that came out for the DS and the 3DS, if I'm correct to say, all 3 GBAs classics. I never really had the DS and the 3DS ones. I had the first one for the GBA, and I don't even know why I didn't buy the fucking other 2, because those aren't cheap. They're supposed to, limited run came out, and I really missed out on that, and I needed to get one print because that's my favorite kind of games. Is those Castlevania, Metroidvania games. I love those kind of games. Blasphemous. That's a game you could play, another Metroidvania kind of violent, cool looking game, I would say. And they came out with part 2 just recently. And Blasphemous Part 1 is, I think it went up in price or is going up in price. So I'm happy I snagged it a year ago or whatever for what I got it for. All day, every day. Anyway, unfortunately, yo, Halloween, you know, free can't. You're gonna be eating a hell of a lot of red dye 40 for Halloween. Hugh. Hey, yo, it's funny. As I get older, I eat less candy. For some reason, I tried to eat a bowl of Trix today. I had to throw it away. I couldn't eat it. Like I could only eat I could only eat oatmeal, eggs. Like I can't eat a lot of things. Like that. Like I don't know. It's probably a good thing to say. Yo, collect that media now is a good investment. Collect any horror games you get $10, $5. Those Resident Evils, I wound up snagging 2 copies of Resident Evil 2 from GameStop. For like $7 or $8 each, and they doubled the price of all their games. So I think it's like 20 something bucks now. Like right after when I bought it, right after that they put it up to like 20 something bucks. So I got like the last of them lacking in the value of their prices of their disc, but they was doing that for like 30 years. Yeah, like Silent Hill, that's like $100. Part 1, 2, and 3. I'm telling you, it was like a $10 to $5 game. At a time, that was a $10 to $5 game. That like how I collect now, I would have, dude. I would have. Oh, that's another horror game you could buy for the PS3. Get a copy of the Silent Hill HD collection. It's still $20 on Amazon. It's not like perfect like the PS2 disc, but regardless to what, it's a copy of Silent Hill 2 and 3 for only $10 a disc. So I would definitely suggest. It's funny, I should have probably been mentioned that disc. The Silent Hill HD collection for the PS3. All the HD collections, I think, for some reason, are going up in price. The Ratchet and Clank HD 3-in-1 collection is like $50. And I think another one of those kind of collections is going up in price like that. So something about all of those I think is going to follow suit. And I wouldn't be shocked. The Metal Gear Legacy collection for the PS3 was like $20 to $40. I got it when it went up to $40 and I didn't want to play around anymore. It's like $80 to $100 right now. And it's better than that. The new Metal Gears that are coming out, it's better than those. If I'm to be correct. That PS3 disc is better than those. And it comes with everything. Yeah, it's broken, but like I still consider it possibly to be a good disc because it's Silent Hill discs for like that price. Like there's not that many Silent Hill discs around that price. There's only really 2 of them now. That and Homecoming is the last 2 Silent Hills right now that you can still get for a cheap price, and everything else is $70 and up. So it's good. I think it's just gonna follow no matter what. Yo, thank you, yo, thank you, Turtle. That's how I collect games. I try to get them at the low, and don't wait on like other people to tell like well, I am telling you about it, but like I feel like they're not. If I maybe be correct, they're not talking about it like this. Okay, there's certain people I watch on YouTube, let's say, that they go to yard sales or online or whatever, they find deals, they come to you, they buy game systems from you, and how they be working, I wouldn't do it. I don't do it like I don't collect like that. I don't collect. I don't get opportunities to buy games all the time, but I try to go after good games when I go and buy games from people. I don't try to just buy anything and just keep I bought all these games because I can make $3 extra off of them. Nah. Like my example is I spent $80, but I got Godzilla for the PS4. Oh, like one day I went to GameStop and they had to buy two get one free. Yo, it was a blessing. It was three bangers there. So they had Godzilla, um, Dark Grand or some kind of RPG game that was like $50 or some shit. And they had Metal Max Xeno for the PS4. Three good games to get. Um, Maybe $300 in value. I only paid $80. So I'm not going after turning my just like $3. Oh, I got $9 in value from these three games I bought. Nah, I'm talking about like $150, $200. I spent 180 like I showed the other day, but it's 800 in value or 860 in value. Like last year, $200. Maybe 7 to 8K in video games for $200. So that means that was a couple thousand% profit. That wasn't no 100%, 200% profit. That was well over 2,000 and better percent profit to turn $200 bill into 8 grand. And it happens. It really do happen. Um, up here in the city, not as consistent. I feel like it's more in suburbia areas that if I was in the mix of that, maybe a little bit even more banging stuff. However, I feel like I got a little bit of cool stuff too, because New York is a publishing melting pot. So if you could find out about the right publishers, you might be able to come across a lot. Not to say a lot, but not to say the word a lot, but I meant like a lot as in a storage. They can wind up having like a desktop store. There's desktop storages for a lot of businesses all across the country. So, like I was saying the other day, okay. Aside from the video games for the horror episode, buy horror. If you could get horror DVDs for $1 to $2, buy them now. Buy them now. I'm telling you, like, if you could get tons of Halloweens, tons of Jasons, the Freddy Kruegers, the Hellraisers, Pumpkinhead, Dr. Giggles, Saw, any of these kind of movies, and you could get them $2-3, $1, buy them because they're $20 and up easy. Later on, look up any horror VHSs, how much they cost on eBay, and then think of the same thing that's gonna happen for the DVD. Simple as that. And all that stuff is going out of basically stock. Is going away. All that stuff is going away. So the same thing that happened with them horror VHSs, and that's how I try to look for certain horror VHSs. Like any horror VHSs that are very expensive, I try to look for the DVD and see if it's still cheap. Same thing with video games. The same way I'll probably go about it to say with video games. There was a game I liked from back in the days that I played as a ROM called Survival Kids, and they made 4 other versions after that. They made 2 of them for the DS, I think, or the 3DS called Lost in Blue, if I'm correct. I think that's the name, and then they got one for the Nintendo Wii that I think is a very cool game. So I bought like 3 copies. Lost in Blue for the Nintendo Wii. It's from the creators of Survival Kids. So that's another way I collect games. Where like if your clique made a banging game a long time ago, whatever I try to look up what is it y'all made in the future. Because there's a higher chance they made other good stuff in the future too. So, like how I said earlier, if y'all want to follow one company, Behavior is definitely one company. Somehow, every game they make is a good game. From 2D to 3D games, they haven't missed yet for some odd reason. Um, and yeah, from Monster House to Dead by Daylight, that's 2 horror games right there. Both good horror games. Freaking yeah, back in the GameCube, Game Boy Advance, PS2 era, it was a funny era. It was a lot of publishing for movie games. And eventually, if not to say it already did, a lot of them companies could have lost publishing rights to it where those games might, and I don't think people might be talking about that maybe too right there. Those might not come back. I never really looked through digital catalogs. Y'all should look through digital catalog for movie games and how many movie games are on digital catalogs. And if you come to notice that a lot of movie games aren't on digital catalogs, those are good games maybe to consider going after. Cause then that's dead data right there. Any games based off of a movie, cartoon, and if it's not on the digital marketplace, it's dead data. So that's like 100% one suggestion to y'all. I think multiple ways of how I would collect games. The so it's a lot of them. It's a lot of good ones out there. It's mad cheap. There's one I got. I don't know if it's right here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to see how it shows up. I mentioned that earlier. There you go. Tormented Souls. So the PS4 version is upgradable for the PS5, and then I got a PS5 disc also. See how that got, I don't know how it got trashed. That's a sealed copy. So just give me 1 second. I got a couple more. I got a game I want to show y'all. Oh, compilation games. Title Legends 2. Maybe to say like $500 to $600 worth of games on this for Title Legends Part 2 for the PS2. But there's a game I'm looking for right now. Let's see if I'm lucky enough to show you. Oh, this is a horror game for the Nintendo Wii. Cursed Mountain. That's a horror game. That was random. I pulled that out right there. Okay, here it goes. So here's a So I just showed y'all one game that was actually a horror game. Here it goes right here again. Actually. So this is another Halloween game. Actually, Cursed Mountain, Nintendo Wii. I actually got the Steelbook version to this too. Somewhere in one of these boxes or whatever. I bought 2 copies of this. They and it does look like a gem to me for the Nintendo Wii from Capcom, Zack and Wiki. I think this ain't gonna be cheap later down the line. There's a good couple Nintendo Wii. Yo, bro, I did a video. There's a game called Blinks for the Xbox, for the original Xbox, and for some reason somebody's snatching the copies up right now. But this is another game that's a good game. This is an old defunct company called Working Designs. And this might be, if I'm right to say, one of the last 3 games they ever made. And it's also created by Treasure, which is like one of the best shmup companies you could ever buy from. This game is still cheap. Shockingly, I'm out to buying 3 copies of this mother right here. The other third copies in the whatchamacallit. I want to buy 3 of these, just because of this. Both of these companies right here is legendary companies. That is shocking. Like years later, it still was a cheap game, but like I said, that's not gonna be forever. I went after maybe 3 or 4 of these kind of discs. Any of the oh, it's funny we was talking about GTA earlier. Yes, I bought a couple GTA's. The ones that had these little special editions on it, I went. That. They were cheap. They were like $7 or something like that. So I bought. It's this one that got the two, and then it's the one that got the game, the original game, and these two on it. So this is another disc that I think ain't gonna be cheap forever. I don't know if this is the wrong case or they gave me two discs by mistake. I got two discs in here. And I think that was by mistake. I don't know what. I actually got two discs in it. I got both of the discs I was just talking about actually. Look. This is the first, this is the regular one, the GTA plus the Liberty City episodes from Liberty City, and then so I don't know why this had both of those. And oh, I think that was a mistake or something. Like he hooked me up. This person hooked me up or something. But it's funny that like an hour or two later, I pulled out another horror game. Basically, you spooky. You don't gotta type all day. You could. Yeah, it's love with the fact you even listening to me. No homo. No pause. No. Oh no. But nah, it's all love, bro. It's all good. It is all good. Who produced this? That was interesting. I'm looking at some. Okay. Anyway, what time is it? I'm doing late at night. It's like 12:19. That's bananas, son. I'm like 12. I'm like 2 HRN. That is a beautiful thing. I didn't expect to be this long. I thought it was gonna be 30 minutes. This is so this that's why I would say as a suggestion to anybody who ever views this, including you, Spooky, like it's the beauty of you never know if it's just one person who you could be. I think it's weird, but it's kind of a beautiful thing. I'm talking really just to this camera, to myself in a way, overall. So I don't know. It's kind of amazing. I feel it's kind of therapeutic too. You could like you could just express frustrations, all sorts of different things. But it's just like a cool thing. And then later on, they chop it up and turn me into a hideous meme. That's when it's really on and popping. Oh man, Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. Fantastic, Any movie Rob Zombie makes, cool movies. Grindhouse. I think Eli Roth. I like that dude. Oh yeah, you want a good horror movie? Doctor Doolittle and Big Mama House combo pack. Horrific. Horrific. Gives me plenty of nightmares after watching that. Yo, I grew up, I used to love that TV show, Martin. And I'll be honest with you, I never clicked with none of this Big Mama House stuff. I watched Dr. Doolittle maybe one. I like The Nutty Professor. I like Norbit. I like how he did Dolomite. And Martin, I never really liked the movies. Like Martin, is an interesting human being, and I'm curious to if he could have blossomed more in life, and we kind of never got to. I think one day we're gonna get to see him again. Like I mean, like really get to see him again. Like he's gonna get. He is a good chance. I don't say. I don't know. It's possible he can come on stage again, and we just hear Martin on. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it might be whack. Because to be honest with you, a lot of the humor I grew up with in the past and Living Color and all that stuff, I don't click with it now. I don't like it at all. I don't like the Waynes. I don't like anybody who graduate from colleges. You don't come from the rut, and you're making fun of low educated people, basically. Like, you're not teaching me things I could grow. Like, yeah, that's what I took In Living Color as. Predominant of the show was just poking fun at people, and I think I grew up doing that same stupidness. That's not comedy. Three Stooges is comedy. Larry David is comedy. Silent movies. No, not even no words. Just oh man, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Shit. What, man? Beautiful. Beautiful. But yeah, when I reflect back to like In Living Color and certain old shows I watch, maybe the Wayne Bros. Maybe the Wayne Bros could still be cool. But certain ones I can't watch. I can't watch that no more. Certain music, Dipset. I can't listen. I can't listen to Cameron, and like Gladys Knight and the Pips. I can't listen to Cameron and the Dipsets anymore. I can't. In reality, I actually like Joe Budden's "Pump It Up" song. I think that is a fantastic song. Unfortunately, that was the only song. "Pump It Up" is fantastic. That's, I'm about to knock the phone down. Like, start shaking everything. Yes, pump it up. This show is garbage, yo. I can't stand that dude. I can't stand how he even tried to attack academics. King Ak. War in Chirac. Yo, I swear to you, Ak is actually a funny person, yo. He is an entertaining person. I like him. And that period, that's it. He got a clip he did for the War in Chirac that I wish I had it saved. He got a clip called Chirac like 10 Commandments. Yo, I fucking bugged out after Joe Buttons never did that day in his life. That's why I say he's garbage. He's not a human. Like, get the fuck out of here. The fuck is this? Shut up, yo. Shut the fuck up. But Chirac 10 Commandments? 1, don't brush my teeth. Yo, I forgot what he had on in 10 Commandments. That shit was the funniest thing ever in history. I gotta find that clip, yo. There's a YouTube has playlists for certain people's shows or whatever, and there's a War in Chirac playlist where that I don't know where that thing is at, but it was academics. Chirac 10 Commandments. That shit was a banger. That dude is funny as hell. That's entertaining. He's giving rappers light. That's the only he is a main key to me why drill even exists on this side of the country. Anything speaking about drill, he was like maybe to say 99% of social media's information on it. And if I'm to say accurate at it, that shit was so funny. He started off with the demon time, all that shit. Gotta go out for a drill of an op pack. He was basically a star. If I'm right saying that, like the star in Buck Wild, but he was talking about Chirac. No, that shit is classic, bro. I don't care how anybody try to downgrade him. That shit needs a DVD, maybe. He maybe needs to have a DVD. Yo, get the fuck out of here. And Joe Budden tried to, the gangsters, nigga. You need to stick glizzy penis in your mouth and shut the fuck up. Gangster that shit. Shut the fuck up. Keep on. And it's sad, man. War in Chirac is like the past, but like that was a banger, bro. That was a banger. Joe Buzz, get the fuck out of here, bro. Whenever you hear about Fat Joe talking about his past in the Bronx, yo, and how he had to get, and like it was cliques of people, and like shit was really funky, this, that, and whatnot. My cousin was one of those people he was talking about. And one of his right-hand man shouts out my cousin time to time. And Fat Joe gives a whole like and gives respect to the whole scenario. Because that's what I'm telling you, the difference between a rapper and the nigga, the people who really was making mistakes bodying people for $100 bill. I'm not saying that was my dumb ass, I don't know. I don't think it was him. I would hope it not. Because I would tell you, my cousin's a fucking idiot. But these are the mistakes people were making back in those days. This is how volatile and how real it was back then. So that's why, like, rappers in states where guns is legalized, okay, no, but not really. Like, you can talk all that hot shit, but you don't hear about them doing nothing in no other dang states. You don't hear nothing going on in no other states, bro. It is bananas. We did the 2 hours. We about to come to a dizang end because I gotta go get some papers. And yo, thank you to Spook. Thank you to Mr. Ahmed Joe Smith, Turtle Dog, Mr. James, Black Alien, Thomas, Mr. Out of Time, Miss Jamie. Thank you to all the human beings who just gave me a moment of time to even entertain and listen to me for a moment of this segment. You know, just talk bare absurd, random words and stuff of gibberish. Much respect to you and love to everybody. And I hope tomorrow will be a good day for y'all. Peace out, y'all.